guys, I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I thought it would be a good idea, as there's plenty of people who have been fursuiting longer than I have, but I've been fursuiting for about 2.5 years, and after doing a little research and experiments, I've discovered a lot of ways that you can care for a fursuit, and they seem to work pretty good for me, so I thought I would share a fursuit care video for those of you who either want to try to improve your fursuit caring, or maybe you want to get into fursuiting, or you just recently done it and you want to do a little better or improve upon it. So I thought I'd share with you some of my experience and try to make a little informational video about fursuiting. Well, first of all, I don't have a lot of space here, so I'm going to be bringing a lot of stuff off camera. Here you'll see my fursuit box. This is where I keep all of my fursuiting things. I know you can't see it well, it's just a black rectangle at the bottom of the screen, but this is where it is. It's very large. I keep quite a lot of bits in here. So, of course, you have your fursuit box. Maybe I'll show a zoomed-in view of it after a minute. There's a bunch of stuff on top of here I'm going to get into in just a minute for doing fursuiting. We have disinfectant spray. If you can read that, citrus scented, my own personal preference. There's plenty of scents. You can have them however you like. But I'm going to bring this closer to you real quick. You won't be able to read this. But active ingredients, alcohol is one of the top ingredients. What is it called? N-alkyl, 60%. Anyway, you want to use alcohol-based disinfectant spray, not pine oil. I haven't attempted to use pine oil, but I've heard that it's very bad for your fursuit. Not having tried it, I can't say for sure how bad it is or what it does, but I've read that it damages the foam. I don't know 100% if that's true, but at the same turn of the coin, I don't want to test it on my fursuit and risk damaging it. I have never ever had a problem with this type. I bought this from Walmart, the brand. But yeah, alcohol based, that's what I would go with. Another thing you're going to need for a fursuit, unless you have very, very short fur, a fursuit brush. I got this from Walmart, and I like it. It is a one of those detangling brushes that you can get from the As Seen on TV section. I think this one works really good. My fursuit has very thick, long fur, so I got the thick hair brush. It works very well. I mean, I can't use it on my hair because I don't really have thick hair, but it works really well for my fursuit, which is what it was meant for in the first place. And yeah, or you could get one of those wire detangling brushes for your dog. Works very nice too. Another thing that I definitely recommend, dryer sheets. You can find these and the disinfectant spray in the dollar store. You don't have to get it at Walmart. Anywhere you could find disinfectant spray and dryer sheets, they'll work. Whatever scent you want. Another thing I'm going to do a close-up of this is, looks a little messy, but this is my repair kit. Very definitely important to have. Repair kit, lifesaver. In here, I'll show it close up, but I have a couple of needles, some, what's it called? Thick thread. I have a thimble, I have some bobby pins, just a couple of things to really help repair if you need it. Now, let's get into the actual fursuiting. This is pants. I know they don't look large, but this is sweat wicking pants that I wear under my fursuit. I don't wear them when I partial. I don't really need to, but when I full suit, this is what I wear under it. You have a shirt, sweat wicking shirt. and my balaclava. Now, I have like 3 or 4 of these. The balaclava, my head is balaclava based, so I guess technically I don't technically need a balaclava, but I like to double up because I sweat a lot. Another point I'm going to make, because I mentioned sweating, your diet, what you drink and what you eat, affects the smell of your sweat. If you're going to be fursuiting, drink water. Definitely. Soda has a lot of sodium in it, and a lot of sugar. All of that stuff, especially salt, I don't know about sugar, but salt definitely dehydrates you. It doesn't hydrate you as much as drinking water. Water is definitely your best bet for hydration. I don't particularly like things like Powerade and Gatorade because they have artificial sweeteners in them, and that stuff makes me sick. So I can't do that, but if that's what you prefer, as long as you're hydrating. You got to keep yourself hydrated and make sure you eat. I've never had too much trouble just drinking water, but you have to drink it before you suit, at least 2 hours, if not a whole day of hydration. Does not hurt you, just don't overdo it. I mean, a couple of bottles of water will be fine. You don't have to chug it. I mean, you could have a bottle of water a couple hours before you suit, at least 2 hours, if not more, to be safe. Drink water while you are fursuiting. Again, very important. Drinking while you're suiting, no matter how long you're going to be suiting. Stay hydrated so that your sweat can cool you off, even though in the suit it doesn't escape very well. And after you suit, make sure you continue to hydrate. It's important to keep yourself hydrated after you're done suiting to make sure you cool yourself off. Unlike the animal that you're pretending to be, or that you are, however you feel, not my place to judge. You sweat, and that's how you cool off, and a way to keep that going is to hydrate yourself to make sure you have sweat to come out so that you can cool. Okay, that's a lot of the basics. Again, definitely, this stuff is important. Sweat wicking stuff. Make sure it helps keep you cool. It helps keep the sweat off your suit to protect it. And now I'm going to step into fursuit care. Just for an example, I have one of Noir's hand paws, one of his gloves. As you can see, I've turned it inside out. Generally, I do this when I'm going to put it in the washing machine. About 80% of my suit is machine washable. I would ask your fursuit maker, or consider for yourself whether it's machine washable, depending on how you made the suit. My head is definitely not machine washable. I highly do not recommend that, at least not in my experience. My fursuit head, the first thing I do, let me get Noir here for a second. He's already been sprayed down, my head. He's already been brushed. But basically I turn his head upside down and open up the neck, and I spray some disinfectant spray in there, let it dry, do a smell and touch test to make sure it's dry in there. Then I insert a dryer sheet and fold up his neck, stays fresh, and then I give him a good brushing. This is how I keep him nice. I've never had complaints about me smelling badly. I worry about that a lot. I don't want to smell when I'm in fursuit, so that's how I care for my head. When it comes to my bodysuit, I have him right here. Well, let's do my arm sleeves, because I have a double for partial for him, just in two, it's handy. As you can see, I've turned them inside out as well. I have not brushed them yet, but I turn them out, inside out, hang them on a surface, and spray them both sides, so that they're coated. If I feel that they need a little washing, these are machine washable. Again, my whole fursuit practically is machine washable. When it comes to machine washing, and I'll tell you about this in a second, when it comes to machine washing, cold, gentle cycle, and do not put the fursuit in first. My suggestion would be to put your choice of probably try to do a gentler type of laundry detergent, and add it to as the water is being poured into the washing machine, and let it fill a little ways up before you wash your suit. This way it doesn't go directly onto the fur or onto your suit. Helps keep it from directly interacting with the suit. I don't know if that would damage it because I've never let it actually get in contact with the suit, but you know, safety keeps it from getting damaged. You know what I mean? Why tempt fate? But yeah, I add it to the water first as it's filling and make sure it's mixed up, and then add the suit. The suit will absorb the soap until the rinse cycle. I do 2 rinse cycles in the cold gentle cycle to make sure that it's well rinsed, and then I hang it up and let it dry. I would not suggest you pick up the suit, you know, with one hand. Make sure you get 2 hands on it. Another thing you do, wash it in the tub. That works. Again, I'm sure that anybody who washes in the tub can, or a basin or whatever you use, can tell you, you know, the details for that, but I machine wash. I'll tell you about this really quick. This is a bag made out of unbleached muslin. I put my fursuit feet in this. They go inside the bag, and they have buttons to close the bag up. And basically what that does is it protects the claws so that they don't get caught on the machine or anything. I have removable, it might be hard to see them, but I have removable slippers inside my fursuit feet. Turn my chair on. I have removable slippers from inside the fursuit feet, and I put them in the wash, and I've never had a problem. I mean, they're a little battered. It's been 2.5 years, so as feet get the most abuse from walking around, I mean, they still look nice, but I mean, they've seen a lot of use. So I've done some repairs. I'm going to be hopefully sending them out soon to have work done to them so they can be maintained. But yeah, this bag I use to protect my feet. It's unbleached muslin. Remember that, unbleached muslin. Historians use it to protect things that they don't want, I guess, damaged. You know, it helps protect them, keeps the dust off. You know, it's not treated with anything. So, very good material to use if you want to make some. Eventually, I hope to make a fursuit bag for mine, which is going to take a lot of unbleached muslin. But it's not really all that expensive as far as I know. This was pretty cheap at Joann's, so where you can get it. Disinfectant spray, what else? I touched on everything here. Brushing is important. I have my fursuit tail here. Unfortunately, when it comes to my fursuit, Noir's hair is pretty wild. Honestly, he gets pretty crazy. As you can see, the tail, the fur is everywhere. No matter what I do, it just doesn't seem to want to, you know, take. It doesn't stay flat. I have a couple of different. This tail wasn't made by Mushi Magic, which is now Butterfly Back Fursuits. Apologize. This was made by Karima, or Tiger of the Winds. But my fursuit tail is actually attached to my fursuit, so I can't partial with the tail on the suit. So when I partial, I use this. What else can I say about fursuit care? Fursuit care. Stay away from fire. That's a good one. This is acrylic fur. It burns very easily. Avoid sticky things. For those of you who are new, for God's sake, don't eat in it. I would not suggest you eat in it. I don't know if you can actually see my head. Not his head. This head. What else can I tell you? I touched on careful what you eat and drink. Disinfectant spray. Trying to remember. I'll bring this a little closer to you. Some of the stuff you can see in it. see you got my my thread. I have very strong black carpet thread. I have my thimble for when I use it, and got a couple of needles in here for stitching up any damaged parts, which I've not had a lot, but you know, just in case. I mean, my gloves sometimes have a little tear in them on the cuffs. I have a lot of bobby pins in there, big ones, little ones, different sizes, for like repairs and maintenance. This is great to have. I can't tell you how many times that it's come in handy when I've had a small tear, or, you know, it comes in very handy. Like I said, you know, you tuck it inside your head and your hands and the parts, you know, to make sure they stay nice and soft and well scented inside. I used like tropical mango scented dryer sheets. I bought them from Walmart. And citrus scented Noir. Smells like a fruit bowl, sort of. Tropical fruit bowl. So that's my preference. What else can I touch on that'll be helpful to you? Know your limits. If you start feeling dizzy, if you get a bad headache, if you start feeling sleepy, definitely go to a fursuit lounge anywhere you can. Get a drink, take your suit off. You do not want to pass out in a fursuit. It's very, very bad. Especially, I'm sure you've seen on the Anthrocon videos on YouTube, you do not want them to cut your fursuit off of you, because the EMT's first primary concern is making sure that you're surviving, alive, and okay. They don't care about your fursuit. Not that they're mean or they hate furries. I'm not saying that. But the EMT's first primary concern is your life and your safety. So you don't want them cutting your fursuit off. Protect yourself. Hydrate, and if you need to cool off, don't be afraid. If it's an emergency, you have to take your head off or pass out, take your head off. Breaking the magic is important. I do my best not to ever take Noir's head off in public. It's happened. But honestly, in some venues, like, you can't avoid walking around partially suited. It's difficult, you know. I mean, if I was going to go to a hospital, you know, for anything like that, I'd try to have a room to the side where I can put on jeans or something. But definitely, if it comes between your health and your safety and breaking the magic, I'd have to say that your health and safety is much more important than anything else, along with the safety of others too. But honestly, that's more important. I think that pretty much covers everything. If you have any questions, leave the comment down below. I will answer anything I can for you. I hope I touched on as much as I can. Like I said, if there's anything else you need to know, feel free to contact me. I'm always around. I'll answer your questions. I have my internet back, so I can definitely get back to you within a couple of days. So that's my fursuit care video. I hope it helps you. If it made you more interested in fursuiting, they're definitely quite a bit of work, especially after you get done. I mean, washing and caring for them usually takes me about an hour, particularly the brushing part, especially if I have to put it in the washing machine. But, I mean, I love fursuiting, so, I mean, if you're thinking about getting into it, it's expensive, for God's sakes. Think about it before you get into it. Definitely think. It's a very expensive hobby. That's what I consider it. It's a hobby. I love doing it. I enjoy it so much. Especially when I see the smiles on people's faces. That really gets me. I could share some stories with you guys, man. I tell you what. But this is not the place for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If it helps you, any questions, let me know. Thank you, guys.